In the quiet coastal town of Seabrook, a chilling tale revolves around an old abandoned lighthouse. This lighthouse, aged by time and weathered by the relentless sea, holds a history rich with mystery and intrigue. It perches precariously on the town's rocky shoreline, a silent, brooding figure that has become as much a part of Seabrook as the salty sea air and the cries of the gulls overhead. Seabrook is a charming place, a town where everyone knows everyone, where the pace of life is slow and the people are as sturdy and steadfast as the lighthouse itself. But beneath the town's quaint charm, there is a sense of unease, a shiver of fear that dances on the sea breeze. It's an undercurrent that whispers of strange happenings and inexplicable events, all tied to the old lighthouse. The lighthouse has been a part of Seabrook's history for as long as anyone can remember. It once guided ships to safety, its beacon cutting through the darkest nights and the thickest fogs. But for years now, the lighthouse has been non-operational, its once bright light extinguished. Yet, locals will tell you, on certain nights, when the fog rolls in and the moon is hidden behind a veil of clouds, a light can be seen. A beacon seemingly from the lighthouse, piercing the darkness, guiding no one. This is the legend of the unseen beacon, a tale passed down from generation to generation. A tale that has become a part of Seabrook's folklore, as much a part of the town as the lighthouse itself. It's a story that sends a chill down the spine. A story that adds an extra layer of mystery to the already enigmatic lighthouse. Despite the eerie tales, the lighthouse stands tall, a silent sentinel with a tale waiting to be unraveled. It's a monument to the town's past, a symbol of its present, and perhaps a key to its hidden mysteries. But for now, the lighthouse remains a silent observer, its secrets as elusive as the unseen beacon that haunts the town's folklore. The town's oldest resident, once a lighthouse keeper, has a tale that sends shivers down the spine. This elderly man, the former beacon of safety for sailors at sea, now holds a lantern of chilling tales from his past. His eyes, clouded by the fog of time, still flicker with the haunting glow of the lighthouse he once tended. His story begins on a night like any other, the lighthouse standing stalwart against the dark, churning waves. The keeper's duty was to guide the lost and the wandering, but that night, he himself felt an unsettling sense of being adrift. The lighthouse, his solitary haven, began to resonate with strange sounds. The creaking of the old wood and the howling of the wind were familiar to him, but these new sounds, they were different. They were whispers, soft yet clear, echoing through the hollow chambers of the lighthouse. They were like flitting shadows, dancing in the corner of his vision, yet disappearing when he turned to look. More unnerving was the flickering of the lighthouse lamp. A steady beacon for years, it began to flicker unpredictably. The keeper tried to find a reason, a loose wire or a dying bulb, but everything was in its proper place. The culmination of his terror came one stormy night when he saw it, the unseen beacon, a ghostly light separate from the lighthouse lamp, pulsating in a rhythm that echoed the whispers he had been hearing. It was a spectral luminescence, an ethereal guide, leading him into an abyss of fear and confusion. The lighthouse keeper, a man who had dedicated his life to providing direction, felt lost and disoriented. The once welcoming beacon had become a harbinger of dread. The terror was so intense, so palpable that he was forced to abandon his post, leaving the lighthouse to the mercy of the unseen beacon. And so he left, never to return, but the memories of that night have haunted him ever since. But the old keeper isn't the only one who's experienced the lighthouse's inexplicable phenomena. It seems the haunted lighthouse has a penchant for reaching out to those daring enough to venture close. Fishermen, braving the stormy seas, often speak of otherworldly whispers that ride the wind, intertwining with the lighthouse's incessant hum. They tell tales of voices, soft and mournful, echoing across the waves, a spectral SOS reaching out from the lighthouse's glowing heart. And it's not just the hardened seafarers who've heard these eerie calls. Local children too have their stories to tell. The unseen beacon, it seems, does not discriminate between young and old. They spin tales of a ghostly glow, a beacon that isn't there, casting long quivering shadows on their bedroom walls. They speak of a mournful lullaby that drifts on the night air, a song of sorrow and longing that tugs at the heartstrings. But these are not just tales told to scare or entertain. These are accounts that have caught the attention of those who seek to understand the inexplicable. Enter a local paranormal investigator, a brave soul who has taken it upon himself to delve into the lighthouse's enigmatic past. He spent countless nights, armed with only his equipment and his courage, trying to pierce the veil of mystery that shrouds the lighthouse. His recordings are filled with ethereal whispers, disembodied voices that speak of lost souls and forgotten tragedies. His camera has captured strange lights and shadowy figures, fleeting glimpses of the lighthouse's spectral inhabitants. He's collected stories and experiences, piecing together the fragmented lore of the haunted beacon. Yet, despite his best efforts, the lighthouse keeps its secrets well guarded. Each piece of evidence, each spectral whisper and ghostly image only deepens the mystery. The lighthouse, it seems, is a Pandora's box of paranormal activity, a beacon not just for ships at sea, but for those lost souls who've found themselves adrift in the spectral sea. Yet, despite all the stories, the lighthouse's mystery remains unsolved. Tonight, our local investigator dares to venture into the lighthouse, armed with only his equipment and courage. As the sun dips below the horizon, our intrepid investigator sets forth into the eerie gloom of the haunted lighthouse. His mission: to unravel the spectral mysteries that have puzzled and terrified locals for generations. Equipped with an array of ghost hunting gadgets, he steps over the threshold into the unknown. The plan for the night is as audacious as it is chilling. He intends to spend the entire night alone inside the lighthouse, recording any anomalous activities. His theory? That the lighthouse is not merely haunted, but a conduit for supernatural entities. He believes that the spectral beacon of the lighthouse is a beacon for lost souls, a theory that, if proven, could turn the world of paranormal investigation on its head. Throughout the night, he records his experiences. The chilling drafts that seem to come from nowhere, the inexplicable creaks and groans of the ancient structure, and the echo of footsteps where no living soul treads. He narrates each experience with a calm steadiness, even as the hair on the back of his neck stands on end. His recordings capture more than just his voice. There are snippets of otherworldly sounds, whispers that seem to be carried on the wind, and faint echoes of laughter and cries. Each recording is a haunting testament to the unseen inhabitants of the lighthouse. As he delves deeper into the lighthouse, his findings become even more compelling. There are temperature fluctuations that defy explanation, electromagnetic field spikes that coincide with feelings of being watched, and even a spectral apparition that seems to appear and disappear at will. His courage never wavers, his resolve remains unbroken. His quest for answers drives him forward, even as the midnight hour approaches and the lighthouse grows ever more ominous. His dedication to his craft, his thirst for the truth, is as unwavering as the beam of the lighthouse itself. As the night falls, he switches on his recorder, and the silence of the lighthouse is broken by a whisper. What happens next is something no one could have predicted. The air, once filled with eerie calmness, was now charged with an electrifying tension, a sense of impending horror. The paranormal activity within the walls of the lighthouse escalated abruptly, with spectral lights flickering and ghostly whispers echoing louder than ever before. The investigator, once stoic and fearless, could not bear the escalating terror. His abrupt exit was alarming, but what he left behind was even more chilling. A recording, the audio tape filled with distorted voices and sounds too bone-chillingly surreal to be of this world, stands as the only testament to what transpired in the haunted lighthouse that night. The investigator's hasty retreat and the chilling recording left behind have only added more layers to the already thick shroud of mystery surrounding the haunted lighthouse of Seabrook. As the recording ends, one question remains: what lurks within the haunted lighthouse of Seabrook? To find out, join us in the next video as we delve deeper into the unseen beacon's mystery.